Have you ever imagined a fossil so well preserved that it looks like it just came out of a time freezer? That's exactly what happened. Scientists have discovered an incredibly intact dinosaur fossil, trapped in ice for no less than 76 million years. And believe it or not, this discovery could completely change how we understand dinosaur evolution and even the birds we see today. The so-called frozen dragon is not just another fossil, it's a true time capsule, holding secrets from the past that have been locked away for millennia. But here's the big twist. This dinosaur wasn't exactly what we imagined. It wasn't just a giant reptile roaming the plains, but rather a creature that may have glided through the skies or even lived in trees. Its skeleton reveals traits that challenge long-standing scientific assumptions, and the presence of feathers raises intriguing questions about how it adapted to its environment. Could we be looking at a missing link between dinosaurs and modern birds? And more importantly, what does this discovery mean for the future of paleontology? If you think you've seen everything about dinosaurs, get ready to change your mind. What was found in the ice could revolutionize our understanding of prehistoric life. And if this fossil has survived for so long, who's to say there aren't more mysteries still waiting to be uncovered? Have you ever imagined a giant dragon crossing the skies millions of years ago? Well, the Cryodracon boreas, or frozen dragon, was one of those prehistoric monsters that lived in what is now Canada around 76 million years ago. But hold on, it wasn't a fire-breathing dragon like in the movies in reality. It was a giant pterosaur, a flying reptile that shared the sky with other impressive creatures. The interesting part is that its fossil was first discovered in the 1990s, but it wasn't until 2019 that scientists realized it was not the well-known Quetzalcoatlus, another large pterosaur. After extensive studies, they concluded that it was a new species and gave it this incredible name, Frozen Dragon of the Northern Winds. Quite a respectable name, right? The first fossil of this giant was unearthed in Dinosaur Provincial Park in Alberta, Canada. Initially, no one imagined it was special. They thought it was just another known pterosaur. But upon closer examination of the bones, scientists noticed something different. The vertebrae, wing bones, and body structure didn't match Quetzalcoatlus. It was an animal with unique traits, enough to reclassify it and give it its own identity. This discovery not only corrected a past mistake, but also opened the door to new questions. The Cryodracon proves that there were more giant pterosaurs in North America than previously thought, and that they likely had different ways of living and hunting. This completely changes the game, as it shows that the Cretaceous skies were much more populated than we imagined. Who would have thought that millions of years later, we'd still be uncovering new pieces of this puzzle? Moreover, the state of fossil preservation was excellent. Thanks to this, researchers were able to study details that are usually lost over millions of years. This means we are looking at a piece of history frozen in time, now able to tell us a lot about life back then. How did it fly? What did it eat? How did it move on the ground? Each discovery like this brings answers, but also a whole new set of questions. The most exciting part? This reclassification might just be the beginning. If a fossil was misidentified for so long, how many others are still waiting to be reviewed? Could there be other species hidden under incorrect names? The Cryodracon might just be the tip of the iceberg, and that's what makes paleontology so fascinating. Now, let's talk about what really makes this creature so impressive. Its colossal size. Cryodracon had a wingspan of up to 10 meters, 32 feet. That's larger than many small aircraft. And despite its imposing name, it wasn't a dinosaur but a pterosaur, meaning a flying reptile. It belonged to the Asdarchidae group, known for their long necks and massive beaks. Its bones were hollow and super lightweight, perfect for flight. But don't be fooled. Despite being light, it was extremely strong. Its skeletal structure indicates that it could both fly long distances and move efficiently on the ground. And the most interesting part? It didn't need to stay in the air all the time. Scientists believe it could walk using its wings as support, meaning it could explore different environments, both in the air and on solid ground. One of the key differences between Cryodracon and other giant pterosaurs lies in its neck vertebrae. The bones in this region were shorter and thicker, suggesting that it had a stronger neck. This could mean it hunted differently, perhaps using its beak to capture prey more aggressively, or even competing for food. Unfortunately, no well-preserved skull has been found yet to confirm this theory. Speaking of beaks, specialists believe Cryodracon probably had a long toothless beak, like other Asdarchid pterosaurs. This would have made it an excellent predator of small animals, capturing prey quickly without needing to chew. Imagine a creature this size swiftly snatching small mammals and reptiles with a single quick movement of its beak. Pretty terrifying, right? As a carnivore, Cryodracon boreas likely fed on small vertebrates, including lizards, primitive mammals, and possibly baby dinosaurs. Its body structure suggests that, in addition to its flying abilities, it could move on land quadrupedally, using its wings as support. Its powerful musculature indicates that it could take off directly from the ground. Unlike birds that need to run for takeoff, Cryodracon likely used its hind legs and wings at the same time for a turbo jump, lifting off effortlessly. That kind of adaptation made a huge difference in a world full of giant predators. The impact of this discovery goes far beyond the fossil itself. This frozen dragon wasn't just a random Cretaceous animalid, likely played an important role in its ecosystem. Its skeletal structure suggests it may have been an arboreal predator, something relatively rare for dinosaurs of its size. This means it could have spent much of its time in trees, perhaps hunting smaller prey or even stealing eggs from nests. This hypothesis reshapes our view of dinosaur behavior and adds another piece to the puzzle of evolution. And what does this have to do with modern birds? Everything! The transition from dinosaurs to birds was a long and complex process. And this fossil proves that evolution experimented with different forms and strategies before arriving at the birds we see today. Every detail from hollow bones to non-functional feathers for flight is a physical record of this transition. If one fossil can change so much of what we know, imagine what else is waiting to be discovered beneath layers of ice, earth, and rock. If a lost fossil from millions of years ago can teach us so much, who knows what else remains hidden, just waiting for the right moment to be revealed? So what do you think? Could science still uncover even more mind-blowing secrets about Earth's prehistoric past? Leave your comment below and share your thoughts. And of course, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. There's plenty more incredible content coming your way. After all, if a fossil lost for millions of years can still teach us so much, imagine what else we can discover together.